Hello YouTube, Blue Matona here, and welcome to part 7 of this Rome Total War Let's Play as the Brutii. So immediately here, we see, so at the end of the last game, we retook Carthage. We kind of have this foothold now in Greece, and I'm at peace with the Greeks right now, so I don't want to attack them, but I might try to make a move for Larissa, try to start weakening the Macedonians. But right away I notice Croton has, looks like, negative population growth, and the reason for that is largely because of squalor and the tax penalty rate. So I don't actually mind that the town is going to be shrinking for a little bit. That really isn't a big issue to me because squalor is so high, and that squalor is basically a direct result of the amount of population that's in the town. The higher the population, the more squalor you're going to have. So I'm going to kind of let this happen, let the squalor move downwards essentially, and then that should make my town happier, and it will ultimately affect population growth positively in the future. So plus I have plenty of buildings I can still build, and this is going to unlock a whole new set of buildings. So let's let that keep going. I'm actually not worried about that at all. And let's see, what do we want to build in Thurman? So all we can build here are sewers, and looks like it's going to expand the next turn. So that's actually kind of perfect timing. I actually don't really mind that. So that's not too bad. And then let's just see what our Senate missions are. Blockade the port, right, and I am doing that this turn. Okay, so we have a big fleet here. Tarentum has some troops in it, so does Croton. Let's leave them there for now. If I'm going to war with Gaul, I need to have at least a couple men ready, I mean, in case they decide to move south. Yeah, maybe I could use this as an opportunity to expand north in Italy, but that's a pretty large Gaul force, and honestly, I'm already fighting in Greece and down here in Africa, and I don't really want to have to deal with a third sort of fight. So squalor is pretty low here because I enslaved most of the population, retraining my troops, and yeah, hopefully I can kind of make them a bit happy. This 7.5% population growth bonus is massive. That is being repaired. So what do we want to build first off? Let's make sure the city can get happier. Let's build an arena. Let's try to kind of improve their happiness down there. And then looks like Lilybium and Syracuse, they're not the happiest in the world, but they're doing okay, making me a little bit of money. So do I want to move out of Thurman and immediately start moving into Macedonia? That could be a decent call. Let's see what their troops do this turn. If they're going to go in and fight the Greeks down here on the peninsula, then I'll make a move in and try to kind of steal Larissa from out underneath them. Okay, and actually, let's see. Where do we have really high squalor? I mean, that's getting kind of high here, too. Let's train up a couple peasant units. Lower the squalor in this town, because, I mean, every time I train a peasant unit, it's basically going to use, in this case, 240 soldiers. So let's train those up, just to kind of help, it'll help with public order, it'll lower the population and lower squalor a little bit. So let's do that there. And we could always move them into a town like Apollonia that shouldn't really have much squalor. Yeah, see, barely anything, and that actually needs population. So we can do that. I think, see, squalor's really affecting my towns right now. So let's train up a bunch of peasants kind of across the board. They're super cheap, and they'll use up a pretty good amount of people. So I think squalor is pretty, yeah, see, squalor is kind of becoming an issue across the board here. So let's see what happens after this turn then. I'm very curious if the Julii faction up in the north is going to be able to defend against the Gauls. I mean, it looks like they're really, okay, I really needed this. After losing those 4, man, this guy looks pretty good. Confident commander, true Rome, okay. I'm liking this guy. Let's definitely keep him. I mean, we would keep him anyway. And he wants me to take Cirta. Okay, there's no way that's happening. I don't know why the Senate wants me to advance all the way down here in Africa. I'm going to stick with just Carthage. I'll keep that as a nice economic foothold here. I mean, it's making me about 1,000 a turn, so that's pretty good. But I don't need to expand out into these wastelands. There's just no point in doing that. Yeah, so the plague is still going around. My faction leader died. That sucks. I really needed to keep them going, but okay, I've been given 1,000 by the Senate. Made some money last turn. Thurman grew, which we expected. That we saw that last turn. Yep, it's all that same stuff. New faction leader is Cassius Brutus. Okay. Construction and recruitment. Yeah, there are going to be a lot of peasants in there. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, so Macedon moves south to really face off against Greece down here in the peninsula. So let's take that as an opportunity, and let's move in on Larissa, which does not have many men inside. Now, I wish I had a general over here, like even remotely, but I don't right now, because I had 4 in Apollonia before I lost the siege, and all the generals died in that siege. So wow. So when the faction leader died, I mean, public order just dropped off in this town. Let's just build up a bunch of peasants just to kind of maintain public order there, and we'll keep that going. I mean, every time we train peasants, it should sort of kind of work towards lowering the squalor. So I would love if that can keep going. And then in Carthage here, pretty sure, yeah, we can retrain some more troops, and let's keep training up some Principes. They're pretty good, pretty powerful troops, so I would love to kind of keep them going. Okay, where else do I need to build something? Apollonia. Let's see, what can I build here? So, I mean, a port, communal farming. Like none of these are super. I need troops. Let's get the barracks going, just so I can start training more troops on this side of the sea. It's just not like really going that quick for me right now, and I would love to kind of keep getting more. So I have plenty of infantry, so I'm training up some cavalry here. So I really don't need many more infantry. And let's go ahead and let's siege Larissa. Let's see what happens. It's immediately hit that siege. So my spy wasn't able to open the gates, so we're going to build 2 of those for the next turn where we'll do the siege. I don't want to let their troops have an opportunity to come and intercept me. But now my towns are a little bit exposed. Maybe I can move some troops over from Tarentum. Yeah, let's change this to monthly games just to keep the people happy. And we can build stuff here. Let's get the Legion barracks. Practice range. What do I want to do? I don't think I'm going to be attacked anytime soon. Let's do the practice range. Maybe we can get some we can start training some archers soon. But let's move these guys across this way. Can I move them off the ship? No? Okay, I'll leave the cavalry till next turn. So I don't really need to be blockading this port anymore. I don't really want to infuriate them if I don't have to. And I should have a diplomat up here, actually. I feel like, yeah, moved some guy up there early in the game. So let's see. Ceasefire. Let's just see if they'll take it. No, they don't want to. Okay, ceasefire, and they'll give you map information. No? Okay. So they don't want to make peace, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that they would. I don't want to be fighting another faction. I only did that for the Senate. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, so am I training troops here? I'm training troops there. What can I train here? We'll train up some cavalry here. Let's start getting troops going, as this is going to start turning into a huge fight on this side of the sea, the Greek side of the sea. But yeah, it doesn't look like the Gauls are moving anyone south toward my cities yet, thankfully. I don't really want to have to deal with them. And Namibia, what do they want? Oh, nothing. Okay. The guy's just checking out my town. He doesn't want to do anything. Death stalks the land again, so the plague is still going, but I wasn't affected. Okay. So still a little bit positive with money, not making too much, but yeah, I'm training up all these peasants. And diplomatic. Oh, so everyone declared war in Macedon with me. So that's nice. I have all the other Roman factions defending me, and it looks like they're trying to move in a pretty decent cavalry-based force here. Probably to try to defend Larissa, but luckily I'm able to take it this turn, so let's go ahead right away. Let's move in. Not a large defending force, and the walls are just wooden palisades, it looks like, or wooden small walls, so it should be pretty easy to kind of get in and take that out. I'm not too worried about that. When this will load, taking a little bit there. Okay, So I got 3 units of cavalry. Those will charge in once the gate's down. And let's go ahead and use 1 on the gate and 1 on the wall right here because that leads straight down that major thoroughfare. So let's turn all of our guys on the fire at will, and we'll move the other 3 behind the central gate. We can move these guys up. No harm in that. Okay, so what's their setup? Let's get the battering rams going. What do they have here? So they have their cavalry sitting right behind the gate. And looks like that's it. They have, is this their general? Yeah, I think, yeah, so that's their general's bodyguard moving up, and then they have another cavalry unit in the center of the city. Okay, so it's just 3 cavalry units. So let's actually, since they don't have anything ranged, let's actually move our hastati here and have them start throwing their spears over the wall. I mean, if the cavalry runs by, I should be able to get the hastati to throw their spears over. Yeah, I don't want to let these little arrow towers, though. Actually, there's not. Yeah, I don't want to let them pick them off. So if they start getting fired at, I'm going to move them back. But I think I should be good and out of range if I keep them there. Yeah, it looks like they moved their cavalry just to right here. It's an interesting spot. I don't want to go. I'd rather not lose the men. I'd rather just. I can take out their cavalry. I think it's pretty much mine alone. So I'm not going to risk moving my men in front of this tower just to get a couple, possible spear shots at them. So let's speed this up as our battering rams hit the walls here. Oh, okay. See, there they go. And I'm actually still not even in range. So let's move these men up even further. I thought I'd be in range there. And there we go. So I think a couple of my units are in range. So they should start throwing in. Just 2 of them, it looks. Oh, all 3 actually are. That's nice. So let's see how many how many kills we can get here. So they started at 52. Okay, so that's taking out an actual pretty sizable amount of their force there. That was pretty worth it. I mean, I've almost killed about a little under half their unit. That was definitely a lot more than I had expected. Wow. Good for them. Okay, so that's a pretty nice bonus there. Let's see if we can get these guys to throw the remainder of their spears. Okay, so there goes the gate, and I believe the wall. Yeah, the wall should be going down in a minute. Okay, and I think these guys actually should throw their spears at the cavalry in a second as well, right through the gate here. Let's see that. So they're getting a couple nice shots in, hitting the center of the cavalry. And there comes the second round. Yeah, these spears that the Roman infantry throw are really pretty powerful. It's a really nice added kind of range bonus that it gives to the game gives to the infantry. I mean, I know they did that in real life. It's not like the game is just choosing to give that to them, but it is pretty cool. So let's actually move this infantry to the side, and I'm going to have my cavalry charge through the gap here and just try to route these guys to the center of the city. And this is going to be kind of a log jam at the gate, but here they go. So they should, I mean, that's not going to be a problem at all. And meanwhile, let's move the rest of my infantry to where this opening is, because, yeah, the wall's about to go down. Okay, so let's get them over there. There go my cavalry pouring through. We'll move them up into near the center of the city. I don't think the Romans are going to stand much of a chance. I'm going to actually try to take them out with just my cavalry if I can, and not have to use any of my infantry. Just because, I mean, these guys aren't that good against the enemy cavalry. I'd feel better, if they were triarii, the guys with the Roman infantry with the spears. But, yeah, I'm probably going to leave these guys be. We'll move them up just in case I need the support, but I'm pretty sure I will be fine, at least for the time being. So let's just get my cavalry into the city. A lot of cavalry. I'm swarming in with my EQKs. And yeah, I don't think they're going to stand much of a chance here. Luckily, my spears were basically able to take out most of this first unit. And yeah, they only have 2 left, so that's pretty straightforward. My men are warmed up, which is nice. Spirits lifted by the general's encouragements. My infantry is going to start filing in. Look at those lines. Look at the infantry filing into the city. I mean, they got to know that this cavalry, they have to know that they don't stand a chance, but there's nothing really they can do. So let's move these guys up. Might as well charge headlong into their general's bodyguard. Just get my guys going. Look at this huge force of cavalry I have here. And they are going to go straight into the center and start taking out this general's bodyguard cavalry. And this is just going to be one giant cavalry fight, really. Yeah, so it looks like there are other units about to pour in any second, maybe. We'll get my infantry running in case I need their support, but I don't think I'm going to need it. Yeah, their general's bodyguard's going down pretty quick. I mean, I'm just swarming them. It's not, you know, their cavalry's clearly better than mine. I just have the huge numbers advantage, really. Because that's going on. Yeah, these guys are running up the road here, but I don't think I'm going to need them. So let's just let this cavalry fight, this really big cavalry fight, really play out here. They only have 19 left. I mean, they're dropping 5 left in their general. Yeah, this is pretty much an onslaught. They're not going to last much longer. They're almost surrounded here. My men have almost totally encircled them. And actually, they've taken out a pretty good amount of my cavalry. Like I said, their guys are better than my equites, but I just kind of won with numbers there. And there go the men cheering. We took the city, and that is that. Take out a Macedonian general while I'm at it. And did I gain any? So no one gained any experience, but they got some, decent numbers of kills. So that should kind of add up in future battles, and some of those equites will probably be gaining experience relatively soon. So that's nice. A nice immediate takeover of Larissa here, and I like to scroll over on this. Yeah, so you can see they're pretty angry. I don't want to exterminate the population. I'm going to occupy it and try to hold on to this guy. Let's see what they're at. Yeah, 45. So, yeah, see, I can get them all the way up to 80 just by lowering the tax rate. And once I rebuild the buildings and kind of, increase the garrison a little bit, I think it should be pretty good. Let's see what the main is. Yeah, unrest is the main thing, kind of hurting public order. So that should be, taken down a bit once I get a little bit more kind of going here. Okay, so that was a pretty successful battle, and I like that I have Greece as not an ally, but someone I'm not fighting. So let's get this army, unload it into the city, just to kind of increase the garrison a little bit. I got a little scared that maybe a Macedonian army would move down through these mountain passes here and take out Apollonia, but I think it should be okay. And let's use, what do we have here? One of their ships. Let's use this major fleet here to start transporting some peasants over that are being trained over here to kind of lower the squalor. Just because I can use those peasants and I can either give them, disband them in Apollonia, which will increase Apollonia's population, or I can just kind of throw them in battle and kind of, I mean, it sounds bad, but essentially just let them be killed. So let's get that being built, and what do we want here? Let's train some more cav up. Yeah, so we're building some stuff there. Actually, we're just repairing. What do we want to build? The Legion barracks will let me train Principes. That's pretty nice. I would love to get something that could start building, training archers. So let's see if I can get a practice range. Let's see if I can move that up to archers. And then, yeah, so Croton, what should I build here? So they're still not that happy with me. I'm a little bit surprised by that. I mean, it's mostly squalor, just like anywhere else. But I'm surprised by this 15% unrest. I don't really know what that's coming from. So let's build, what do we want to do? Let's build an arena. Actually, large temple of Mercury, that'll give them more happiness. So let's get that going. And these towns, yeah, they should all just be still training their guys. Carthage, love to train up Principes. I mean, they're just a real solid troop. I mean, really, really good. And maybe I'll build an armorer next that'll really give, yeah, that'll give some good upgrades to all my men. So let's kind of keep that going. They're still not happy with me, but I do get an arena next turn, so that should be okay. And let's see what the situation is up here. Okay, so there's another pretty big Macedonian city up north. So Macedon's pretty big. It doesn't look like Greece is going to be able to take them out here, but I mean, I could start trying to make moves on other cities. I just want to build up my force a little bit first before I do that. And yeah, so they're going to be training up all these guys. Retrain. Okay. What's Croton doing? Yeah, okay, same thing. Okay, cool. So let's... Whoa. Little glitch there. That was a bit weird. Got diplomats are walking around. Nothing too crazy. Another guy. That is what I need. Okay, where did he end up? Do I have him on this side? Fortunately not. Let's see where he is. Okay, so I think that's... No, that's not the new guy. I'm going to move one of them Where should I move them? Let's see what else we have here. So there are 2 down there. See, I don't need these guys sitting in Libyum. I mean, I really would love to move them over to the new theater of war. So let's get the guy with influence and the general, and let's move them over this way. I'll start moving these troops over to the other kind of side of the sea, over to Greece. And let's put in, all these dang little peasants I'm training up with him. And maybe he can pick up, let's see, what can he pick up here? No, nothing good. Okay. Let's see, what do we have down here? Pretty good force. I don't really think I need to train many more men down here. I think I should be able to defend the city well. With that, let's start getting up practice ranges. I would love to get a couple archers just to kind of complement the walls, but same thing here. I think Squalor's not, yeah, okay, it's 55%. It's pretty high. So let's just start doing the same thing and training a bunch of little dang, peasants here. Okay, what do we have? Recruitment, yeah. Building, pretty good amount of buildings. Coming of age, nice. That's really, really nice. No one affected by the plague still. That's pretty lucky. Okay, and we can build some stuff here. So yeah, this city's getting pretty good. Actually, let's see, if we change this yearly games, I'm getting 366. If I put it monthly and normal, no, okay, so it's worth to keep it at yearly. Okay, and let's I guess keep trying to increase public order. Let's get the proconsul's palace. Let's build it up a little bit. And Syracuse, once again, we can build stuff here. Aqueducts. I'll give a big public health bonus. That's always nice. They actually like me decently. If I change this to yearly games, I'll get 357. Yeah, so it's worth keeping it at yearly games with a low tax rate. And then, I don't really want crop rotation, but let's put in a great forum. Oh, population growth bonus. See, I don't want a population growth bonus because that'll just keep the squalor going. So actually, let's put in large stone walls. Let's increase the size of the walls there. Then those are both building stuff. Apollonia is building stuff. So is Thurman. And let's keep training up my force on this side of the sea. It's going to be pretty beneficial to kind of keep those guys going. Okay, and Larissa, what should we train here? Yeah, let's train another Hastati. Doesn't hurt. And what do I want to do with my spy? Let's see if I can get him. Let's see if I can spy out this army. Okay, so they're pretty big. Levy pikemen. Those are pretty good pikemen. A little bit of their phalanx pikemen, but that's a pretty small unit. So let's move these guys down. I might use them in Athens next turn. See if I can kind of start making a move down on the Greek peninsula, because once you take this land, you can kind of ignore it, and you don't really have to defend it, because the only land route to get to it is right through this pass. Otherwise, they have to attack by the sea, and honestly, that just doesn't really... I don't know. I feel like the computer won't do that much. If I'm wrong and I get wiped out later in the game, then that's my mistake. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and stick with my original plan, which is to try and kind of advance south into Greece, even though it's taken me forever to get to this point. But let's see, let's see if Gaul will do something with me. Will they accept a ceasefire? No. They don't want a ceasefire because they're winning. The Julia need to pick it up, although I think they just don't have the money with their 2 cities. Popularity game with the Senate. That is always nice. I'm losing a little bit of money right now, but I built a lot of buildings last turn, so that's okay. Most advanced faction. A lot of marriage. Good job, guys. Getting married. And then Apollonia and Tarentum finished building, and the normal whole swath of recruitment. So, what do we want to retrain? Velites? Okay. I guess we'll retrain the Velites, and let's keep getting some more peasants trained up here. What should we build? Actually, let's see if I make it yearly games. Low tax rate. Yeah, see that's more money actually. I could even do yearly. Now let's keep them happy. I need my popularity with the masses to start rising. Okay, so we will keep. Yeah, let's start building up some walls. I feel like the city needs some walls going. We don't really have anything. And what do we do in Apollonia? I mean, population growth is pretty high if I were to take it off this, but I might actually want to increase it. Does chemical farming do that? No. Market? Yeah, so let's build a market up. get the population growth going a little bit. Meanwhile, where's my fleet? Okay, I want these guys to be picked up. Still no one? No. Okay, we'll get these guys picked up, and might as well throw in this last unit there. Yeah, and we're going to ship them across the sea this way. At the same time, let's get all... Actually, let's leave the peasants there, because they're kind of doing a public order bonus. And then which guy do I want to move across? Let's move him across. Taunton doesn't like that. Okay, we'll give them monthly games again. And I'm going to leave them in port because it's a small fleet, and I don't want my guys to be taken out. So let's keep this going. Where do we want to train? Train up some more infantry. Hastati are really the backbone of my army. And, yeah, I'll leave this guy. Let's get one more unit of infantry in there. 3 units doesn't really seem like much. Okay. See, the Macedonian forces here are pretty big. I don't really know if I want to mess with those. I have a lot of phalanx pikemen in the city, which, although if I fought them on the walls, would kind of take away their spear advantage. But my armies just don't really compare strength-wise right now, and Greece has some pretty big ones too. Let's hope they move these armies south, and then maybe I can make a run at Athens. Yeah, I don't want to be too over-aggressive, just because of how the campaign difficulty is going. Okay, they see now though they left. Okay, so they moved some guys in here. They left 2 pretty small armies though, sitting near my city. I mean, even a 1-unit one. So let's move out. Actually, let's take some troops without experience here, and let's take these guys out. It just might as well chip away at their army. I mean, if they're giving us the opportunity to, might as well kind of take them out while we can. Plus, it gives us a couple little battles, which are always nice to kind of get through. Alright, don't need to really worry about my deployment too much here. I hate when the computer does this, when they're like on the defensive and they set up on the far side of the map. I mean, it's really frustrating. Oh, actually, this isn't a pikeman. Oh, it's just some peltists. I'll just literally charge my cavalry across the map. I mean, there's literally no point in doing anything else. Let's have them walk so they don't get absolutely exhausted by running across the entire map, but then once they get close, I'll have them charge. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Macedon was doing, just leaving a unit of peltists kind of sitting out like that, but let's have some fun. We'll put it in wedge formation, and let's have them charge in. So here come the cavalry. Hopefully I'll get in there before they even have an opportunity to throw their spears. I'd love to see how little men I can lose, but we'll split their formation directly in half. And actually, maybe wedge wasn't the call, because if I got a nice long sort of rush that hit them right away, I would have had a really good charging bonus. So wedge formation probably wasn't the best idea there, but I mean, it's 1 unit. I was just kind of messing around, seeing what I could do with them. And let's wipe them out so they don't, stay in my area. I don't want them, they were blockading my port, just standing there, on it. So I don't really want them to keep messing with me. There goes the general. And that is that. Let's see if they cheer for me. There we go. Yeah. And one of them gained an experience. So yeah, see, that was even worth it, just to get the experience going. Always nice. Always nice to have, just for future battles. And let's see, I don't want to leave this army sitting out to dry, even though it's actually decent. But I would love to take out these other guys. They don't have much move left. But yeah, I think they might have enough to get them and get back to the city. But we will see. And I think these guys have some phalanx pikemen, so it might be a little bit of a more difficult battle kind of taking them out, but we'll see what they can do. Yeah, maybe I'll just kind of go head on with them, and since there's not many, try to move around behind with my cavalry. I think that's probably the best call. And we'll set up here kind of more at the top of the hill with our cavalry on this side. Where are they? See, they did it again. It's so frustrating just when the computer sits literally on the farthest corner of the map. But even if that's what they want to do, that's fine. I can't control that. But we'll move our men up quickly on ×3 speed. This is an interesting formation. They have small phalanx in front with, oh, I can't see how many men yet. And then, I mean, it just increases as they get back. But I think this is their weakest kind of phalanxes. So I'll just have my men kind of move in head on. And I don't think they'll have any problem with this. But maybe with the last one, I'll loop my cavalry around behind, kind of get the added, flanking bonus that they get against these hoplites. So let's see what I can do with that. Okay, let's take it off ×3 speed. Put these guys on to fire at will mode, and yeah, let's just kind of move them like this. Just a nice, solid looking line up in front of these phalanxes, and we'll move my cavalry off to the side so that they're ready whenever the kind of infantry battle starts to flank in. No point in running them. They'll just kind of trot over. Infantry, yeah, let's get them nice and warmed up. They're still fresh, but I think warmed up is the sweet spot that you want to be in. And there's that formidable spear wall of 8 spears that they put down. So I think they kind of know that they don't really have much of a chance in this one. But yeah, so let's. Oh, they're moving actually. Oh, they're shifting to face my cavalry a little bit. But I'm gonna try to get up and see if I can really just take out this first. Actually, I don't want them firing at this first unit. Yeah, I would much rather them fire at the back unit, but I don't think I can actually tell them to charge without throwing their spears first, which is unfortunate. But okay, so these guys are advancing actually. So let's see. Yeah, so now once they're the closest, now let's toggle fire at will, and I think I should really take these guys out with the spears. Yeah, look at that barrage. And let's see, I should get another one here before they get that close to me. And they're already routing. Okay. And here comes a third, it looks like. At this tiny little unit, which is also routing. And yeah, okay, so let's have one cavalry unit chase down the guys that are routing. And let's have the other cavalry unit move in to be ready to flank around behind this phalanx. So we'll get these 4 all advancing immediately. Right into the face of the phalanx. That should start the infantry fight. We'll get these guys back just enough that they have enough room for a nice charging bonus. As you can see, my guys kind of broke through the spears. There's some men that got in past that first layer of spears, so I'm not too worried. And then let's get this cavalry unit charging in. Hopefully they'll get some experience from this battle. And here goes the cavalry. And they knock out their general, or makeshift general, like leader guy right away. And they took a lot of losses actually running into the back of that phalanx, but still worth it. Won the battle. I'll go repair them back in my city. And look at that whole horde cheering. They just won 2 battles in a row. It was pretty good. And I didn't take too many losses. I was actually surprised. I lost about half of my Equite unit there charging in behind the phalanx, which kind of surprised me. Usually you don't really lose anyone, and they can't make it back to the city. That is unfortunate. But that is also okay, so I can actually get an archery range going, which I would love to have. I would love to start training archers, just for the fights in this part of the world. That would give me a nice advantage. And let's finish up this turn. We'll train up some men. What do I want to do here? Let's get one more infantry unit. We'll finish up this turn, and then that'll probably be all for this video. So Thurman loves me all of a sudden. I don't know where. Maybe they always did, and I just didn't notice. But I can actually put it up to a high tax rate, which is great. And let's do the same. Let's get a cavalry stables, which actually I don't even need that. I only care about the equites really. And let's get the Legion barracks going. And I'm out of money actually right now, which means I don't think I'm gonna be able to build anything. Yeah, I can't build anything in Croton this turn. Luckily, that's the only other city where I need to build anything, and I didn't get any Senate positions. That's unfortunate. But most advanced faction. So Egypt and I are kind of flip-flopping for most advanced faction. Okay, construction, recruitments. Yep, just the whole horde of peasants. And let's keep these guys moving over. We're gonna drop them off in Thurman soon, and let's move. Okay, what do I have here? A general, right? General and some peasants. So let's go ahead and move. Oh, this is interesting. So I want to move them into Apollonia. And then let's take these 4 peasant units. So look, if you look at the population, we're 2466 right now. And if I take these 4 peasant units and I disband them, oh, I can only do one at a time. Okay, and I disband these units, then you can see the population goes up based, on the unit size. So that's a good way to increase population, just kind of basically transferring them from, a couple cities that needed to have less population into one that needed to have more. So that's always helpful. We'll just ban actually this other peasants too, keep the population going up there. And yeah, so I think that's all for this episode of Let's Play Rome Total War. Thank you all for watching. Please, like, comment, subscribe, favorite this video. All that stuff really helps, especially since I'm a new channel and trying to get everything up. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope to see you all next time in episode 8.